pay that new supply, old supply, present supply, whatever supply, no bit of attention. Believe me, they are there because that toxic, unhealed person cannot cope with the suffering that's within. One thing you got to understand about toxic, narcissistic people, they don't put in the work. They uses other people to put in the work for them. So when they jump out of relationship with you into another relationship with somebody else, 9 times out of 10, they've been had that person. They had that person way before you even came in the relationship. Let me tell you, for real, for real. So you thinking that that toxic person is all into you, y'all genuine, y'all rocking it, y'all got it going on. But real talk, that toxic person always got a spare tire. That's why you got to understand, and you got to make sure that that person that you are engaging with or that relationship you are into, you got to make sure that these people are genuine. There is not all bad toxic. There is not all bad people out in the world. That's what we got to come to a conclusion. There is some people that's authentic. There is some people that's genuine. When I discovered and was educated on toxic people, I was like, man, I lived around these people my whole entire life. My family, I never did too many friends. I mean, if I worked around people, they were my associates. Never did female friends where we hung together every day or we call each other up on the phone. Never went through all that. Never had the time to do all that. Anyways, I'm good being alone. Trust me, I'm very great at being alone. But a lot of women and a lot of men, they focus on that toxic person, new mate or new person or whatever you want to call these people. I'm not saying that that person is not somebody. Everybody is somebody. But a lot of people are not educated enough to know that they're being pulled in to a portal where they're being used for a coping mechanism. Everybody don't know that unless they do the education on it or get the knowledge on how toxic people move. And that happened to me in 2019 when I left. Well, me and my ex decided to split up. We had a breakup party. I said we celebrating breaking up 10 years in. And he couldn't cope with it. Of course he couldn't. Because we've been together 10 years. And we both put up with each other toxicness. Like I said, I wasn't always the greatest of the great either. But when I first meet you, I ask you, put it all on the table. I'm not telling you put it all on the table so I can use it against you. No, put it all on the table. So if I decide I want to be with you, then I will be with you. Don't put half on the table, then I got to find half out later, because then it's going to be damaging for you and me, because I fight back. I strike back. That's how I used to be. But we broke up in March the 23rd, 2019. I celebrate our breakup. He thought that I was being smart and vindictive. I wasn't. I was actually celebrating us breaking up. Let's celebrate. We celebrated coming together. Let's celebrate leaving each other. He couldn't cope with it. But he already had something already set up. He had it set up six months before we even split up. When God shows you something, he shows you. Take heed to what he showed you. Stop ignoring the red flags. Stop ignoring them. Because when you ignore them, you put yourself in harm's way. Each time you take these toxic people back in your life, it can get real ugly. But anyways, he had already set up. And he called himself coming back, because I guess what he went back to, it wasn't what he had years before, because she was before me. I had to find all this out. She was way before me. But it was cool though. You get what I'm saying? Because another woman can't make me feel no type of way. She is who she is. I am who I am. But anyways, come to find out, he was talking to her on Facebook or whatever have you. And she lived in the city we were living in. She's from that city. You know, everybody in small towns know each other family. I didn't, because I wasn't from North Carolina. I found out because I knew a lot of people. People knew I was genuine. So things always unfold. Believe me. Anything a toxic person do, they're not great at hiding nothing they do. They're easy when it comes to finding out things about them. They're very messy. They leave so many paper trails. But anyways, on Facebook, we was in the mountains in Pigeon Forge, and he would go outside on his phone, and I'm like, okay, you know, they got strategies of what they do. They love their phones. They're gonna cling to them phones. Don't let them make you think they don't love their phones. They love their phones. They actually love their phones. And outside, and I was like, let me check his thing out. So I start skimming down his Facebook, because I was his friend. And, you know, it was certain people on there. And I don't know how I peeped it out. I just don't know how. And I seen Amanda. And I tapped on that girl's page. And there, him and her, she was in love with him. She was missing him. This is what she was putting up there. I'm in love with PMG. That was his initials, PMG. I love you. Where you at? I don't know. So I FaceTimed her. This is how I was. I FaceTimed her. Hello. I say, who are you? Who are you? I say, you definitely know who I am. Because I send her a friend request. So she posted me up there. Look who sent me a friend request. Being petty, I didn't care. I just want to know who you are. So she started going into depths about him, and she knew him years prior to before I met him. She knew him in 2004. So I was like, okay, so y'all back together? She was like, yeah. I said, well, he's here with me outside. We was in Pigeon Forge on his cousin, which was my friend, and I promised her if anything would happen to her, because she was real sickly, I would look out for her daughters. I did. And we went down there to Pigeon Forge, and I said, well, he's down here with me. So she was like, no. She was just going all wild and crazy. She was like, I tried to leave him alone, because all he ever do is sit in the bathroom and he cry over you, and he do this and he do that. I said, no, he don't cry over me. He only crying because now he can't get his way. So I brought the phone to him. I said, Amanda is on the phone. Oh, he went into a rage, which I'm not scared of narcissistic people. I done seen too much in my lifetime to be afraid of a narcissistic person. I done seen it all. The ugly, the evil, the domestic violence of them. I done been through it all. So I'm not afraid of them. So I told her, I said, when we leave here, he will be coming back to you. But see, he didn't realize that I was cooking up something for him. I start to leave him in the mountains. I ain't gonna front with y'all. I start to leave him in the mountains. But I didn't. I brought him back to North Carolina. I wasn't gonna leave him in Tennessee. I decided, let me tell you, it went across my mind. And I would have, but I didn't. But the morals of this story is, never pay any attention to that narcissistic person's supply. They're only a coping mechanism because they can't cope with what they're really suffering inside. When we come in their life, we're only a band-aid for what they have not healed from. And majority of times it's from their childhood. They have not healed from childhood traumas. And being as though they haven't healed, guess what they're going to do? They're going to use people along the way to come in their lives, so they don't have to deal with what they really need to deal with. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is, stop forcing someone to love you. Stop crying over these new supply that really don't mean nothing to them. If you didn't really mean nothing to them, they ain't gonna mean nothing to them. Stop worrying about who they laying with, who they sexing, who they talking to, because just as well as they did it with you, they definitely gonna do it with them. So pay them new supplies, them old supplies, no bit of an attention. Don't give them no attention. Pay them no attention. Basically, none. None. Pay yourself some attention. Go heal, get yourself back on track, and move forward. that right woman or man or whatever you're looking for will come your way, because real recognize real. Bless.